You know how older people would always be like,
Back in my day.
well, sit down, youngsters. I'm about to tell you about a simpler time. A time where phones couldn't really go online to search something up. The only thing you could do on a cell phone was make calls and send texts. And if you really wanted to be the cool kid on the block, you might have some sort of custom ringtone.
Whoa, look at that!
Back when you had to pay $2 to $3 for a 15-second loop of your favorite song to put as a ringtone. Why did it cost so much? A song on iTunes costs like $1, so what gives? I mean, if you didn't want to purchase a ringtone, you could always tell everyone to shut up when your song came on the radio and pray that the recording sounded good. The internet capabilities were garbage. My brother and I would go on the built-in online store to find these ringtones and wallpapers. We thought we were so cool when we downloaded a crappy Fairly OddParents MIDI ringtone. You'd have to take pictures from magazines and posters for wallpapers. Most phones didn't have good cameras, so purchasing wallpapers was necessary. Now at this time, calls and texts were still pretty pricey.
Money?
This was a time before texting apps were a common everyday thing. You could forget about WhatsApp, Facebook messaging, and all those free messaging apps. We could only send basic texts at 11 cents a pop. And on top of that, calls weren't free either. See, my parents had it set up so we could only call them, and that was pretty much it. We did, however, get unlimited calling after 9 p.m., so if I really wanted to make a call, I would just wait till 9:05 p.m., just to be sure. Most of you kids are so spoiled today, being like, oh no, I'm lost. Google Maps to the rescue. Back then it was like, oh no, I'm lost. Well then, I guess I'm screwed. You could always ask someone for direct. Like I said, I'm screwed. Well, I remember being in high school when texting was becoming more and more popular. Everyone was doing it, so I figured a few texts wouldn't hurt my phone bill. It was very addictive to start texting, and a few messages turned into a few hundred. And as you can well imagine, my parents got a nice hefty bill at the end of the month, and my parents were not happy. At this point, I thought I should stop, but then some of my friends started asking where I was, and wondering why I wasn't messaging them. Of course, I had to explain to them that I was running up my phone bill, and that I wasn't allowed to text anymore. Then they said, why don't your parents just pay for the unlimited texting plan for like $20 a month? And I was all like,
They have that.
So of course I begged my parents to get unlimited texting, and after several attempts, they said no. So what did I do? I just texted anyways to get the point across, and they eventually took away my phone. But that didn't last very long. The funny thing is, that now that I was without a phone, they couldn't get a hold of me, and that made them even more frustrated. So then they gave me back my phone, and then eventually paid for the extra unlimited texting. Now, ironically, they both ended up using the unlimited texting more than any of us kids. It's hard to believe that today, the simple commodity of texting was considered a luxury back then. So the moral of the story, because there has to be a moral or something, is when your parents say no, it really means yes. Jikazi does not encourage people to disobey their parents. This was all done for satire and comedic purposes. We put this here because we have to, not because we want to. YouTube, please don't demonetize us. Even though that at the time of making this video, we aren't making any money. So why again are we doing this? Who knows?